Welcome to Nerdmazing! I am super excited to showcase this action figure because it's my very first GI Joe Classified Series action figure, and I'm really happy that it is the Target exclusive Tiger Force action figure of Stuart Outback Selkirk. And keep watching to the end of this episode so you can see my pros and cons recap of this action figure here, as well as get a sneak peek at the next Nerdmazing product I'm showcasing next time. So let's go ahead and check out the collectible action figure first, followed by some of the packaging highlights here on Nerdmazing. Here I have the Stuart Outback Selkirk GI Joe Classified action figure ready to unbox, so let's go ahead and do that. Let me just turn it over like so. And as you can see, it's held together by a little piece of tape right there, which I've already pre-cut. Let me just open up the flap. What's this? Oh, you get some instructions and warning labels there, put that to the side. And as you can see, it comes form-fitted in a nice clear clamshell. And you get the accessories, his backpack, his weaponry and gear, and then the action figure itself. Now I don't see anything securing it like a tie or strap. Let me just check the backside real quick. Nope, nothing there that I can see. Alright, let me just set this down. And let me go ahead and check the packaging to make sure there's nothing else in there. Nope, nothing else. So, give me 1 second to get this figure ready to showcase to you. So here's the GI Joe action figure of Stuart Outback Selkirk, ready to check out the articulation of this figure as well as the accessories he comes with. So let's go ahead and check out the action figure first. So here is a view of the front, his side, the back side, as well as the other side, a view from the top, and a view from the bottom, where you can see he has holes at his feet for a display stand. So let's check out the head articulation. So the head can tilt from side to side, he can spin around a nice 360, and he can tilt forward and backwards as well. He can do a nice T motion with his arms, as you can see, like so. And if you see right here at the shoulder area, he's got this very interesting joint that lets the shoulders go back and forth. Now the biceps can rotate 360. The elbows can bend inwards really well, as you can see. There's no rotation at the forearm. And this hand can spin around at a good 360. And if you notice, there isn't the mechanism for the wrist to go inwards and outwards. See, I'll show you right here. You can see that mechanism right there. It's not here, as you can tell. And this wrist can, as you see, this wrist can go inwards, and this wrist can go outwards. Again, it cannot do that there. Really odd. Alright, let me just go ahead and put these arms up so we can check out the torso articulation. So here is him bending forward. Really nice. He really can go very far backwards. Yep, and he's got a lot of range of mobility that way as well. Let me just set him back up. And let's just check out the side to side on his torso. Left and right. Nicely done. Let's just see if he can rotate. And he can do a nice 360 rotation. Alright, let me just put the arms back down. And now let's check out the leg articulation. He can do a really good split. His legs can go up really nicely and kick back really nicely as well. As you can see there, very smooth. Alright, let me go ahead and just put those back. In 1 second while I get the other legs back into position. There is some thigh rotation right there at the ball joint at the hip. Now right up here at the upper thigh, it can spin around a nice 360. And at the knee, it can articulate with a really nice bend. There is no calf rotation, but at the boot, there is rotation right there at the top. The feet can point down, as well as point up. Put that back to reset. And there is rocking motion at the ankle from side to side, as you can see. You just go ahead and put that back to reset, get those legs back in order. And right there at the hip strap, it can become loose. Let me just show you real quick and put that down. So that can happen, but you just put it right back up there and it'll tighten up. That's the part where the flashlight goes. All right, let's go ahead and check out some of Outback's accessories. First, let's check out the iconic backpack. You see the backpack has 3 peg holes, that middle one going right into the back. So we should be able to put that right there through the strap into that back hole. Let me see if I can get that in there. And should... I have a little bit of trouble. This is odd. Not sure what's going on here. I'm trying to get this in. Oh, okay. That's not gonna happen. So let me just put that figure down, and I'm gonna show you what the other peg holes do. And I'll try to get that backpack working later. You can easily put his shovel right there on one side, like so. Let me just take that out. Right now, he has his knife, as you can see. Really nice. It's got a little serrated edge on one side and bladed on the other. All right. And this actually goes right here at his bootstrap area. So just put it right there in that knife holster. Give me 1 second. Let me get that in, and like so. Really nice. I like how that accessory goes in. Here's his military grade flashlight. So nice details there. Let me go ahead and I'll show you where you can put that. And that's going to go right up there at that upper thigh area. Just go ahead and put that right between the double strap area, and it just inserts like so. All right. And here is, oops, sorry about that. Let me put the gun back. Here is his pistol. And that's going to be holstered onto his side, and that looks really nice. I like all the details there and that little bit of strapping, or that little bit of cloth that's around the grip. And that, again, it's a sidearm, so it goes right there in his holster. Like so. Very nice. Let's check out his rifle. And he's got a really nice rifle with a removable clip. And it's really kind of fun. You can easily just insert that like so. Goes in there nice and snug. So, ready for action with that. And just check out the details. I like all the texture, all the sculpting that was done on this. Really great. Alright, let's go ahead and check out the scale of this figure. Now, the Target website states that Outback here should stand to be about 6 inches tall, or 15.24 centimeters. Measuring this GI Joe action figure myself, he actually stands 6¼ inches tall. Here's Outback next to other size action figures to give you a sense of scale. So let's check out more action figure details of the Stuart Outback Selkirk and place him on the spinner here, and see what fun action poses we can achieve with this GI Joe Classified Series action figure. There is a lot of nerd-mazing details on this Outback figure and his accessories, so let's jump right into it. I have to say this older version of Outback has an amazing head sculpt. I mean, for a combat professional who spends most of his time out in the natural harsh environment, he sure does have amazing hair and beard style. Seriously, no wild messy bedhead? The next highlight of this figure that is hard to miss is his orange shirt, which I have to say has a pretty sweet tiger profile on it. Hasbro, if you ever see this episode, consider making this into shirts, as I would totally wear this. Encompassing his upper torso is a soft plastic utility strap that adds a nice survivalist touch to him, showcasing the strapping and additional pouches he has. Living that outdoor lifestyle has made Outback super ripped, as he is sporting hardly any body fat in this sculpt with all those muscles. Now, is it just me, but I love the detail that Hasbro added to Outback's forearms and giving him gray forearm hairs. Not many action figures can claim to have that. Now, spinning this figure around to the backside, you have Outback's weatherproof backpack filled to the brim with most likely survivalist supplies and field medic equipment and meds. Loving all the details and textures added to this backpack accessory. It's also nice that the shovel and his scoped rifle can easily attach to it as well. Speaking of his weapons, Outback does utilize a semi-automatic, if not fully automatic, scoped rifle to deal with Cobra from afar in covert missions. I think it's real fun that the ammo clip is actually removable. But should you remove it, there really isn't a place on this figure to store it, unlike the other accessories. Now, should he need, Outback can easily whip out his sidearm pistol that has seen some use, being that the grip is wrapped in cloth, which is holstered on his right leg. The left side of his leg does hold a right-angled military-grade flashlight, and just below that, his knife, which is a hunting knife with an opposite side saw edge. His combat pants are sculpted superbly, showing great texture and all that extreme bunch-up folding that happens when it presses up against the knee armor and his combat boots. The combat boots themselves are great too, letting you even see the laces that secure it and the bottom boot treads too. It's these small details that make an action figure go from good to great. Thanks for making it this far into the review. If you're enjoying this GI Joe Outback showcase, consider subscribing to Nerdmazing if you haven't already. This way you can be a part of the community and stay up to date when new episodes get released. Feel free to even smash that notification bell to be alerted when a fresh collectible review drops. Also, give that like button a click as it helps out the channel, and drop your comments below for me to respond back to and keep this GI Joe conversation going. Now, Outback here was first introduced in the GI Joe universe back in May of 1987 in the 59th GI Joe comic issue from Marvel. Later on, his first 3 3/4 action figure came out that same year wearing his iconic white t-shirt with the word survival on it, even coming with this iconic backpack accessory back then. Now, this devilishly handsome rugged Joe was born in Big Piney, Wyoming. Feel free to give a shout out in the description below if this is your hometown. Love to read to you his description from his 1986 back file card. Outback was an instructor at both Survival School and the Jungle Warfare Training Center. He has had extensive training experience in Central America and may or may not have participated in clandestine operations in the Mid-East. Most people are intimidated by the wilderness, the complete absence of the hand of man. Not Outback. He believes in being part of the environment, not its adversary. Now, what is Tiger Force within the GI Joe ranks? GI Joe Tiger Force is a sub-team within the GI Joe franchise. This team was first introduced in 1988 and consists of GI Joe operatives who are trained in jungle warfare and special operations. Tiger Force is equipped with specialized vehicles and equipment and is able to operate in some of the most challenging environments in the world. Members of Tiger Force are chosen for their skills, courage, and determination, and are some of the most highly trained and capable operatives in the GI Joe organization. The team is known for its stealth, speed, and versatility, and is able to carry out a wide range of missions from covert operations to full-scale military assaults. Some of the most notable members of Tiger Force include Flint, Dusty, and Tiger Claw. The team has played a significant role in various GI Joe storylines, and has appeared in numerous forms of GI Joe media, including the animated television series, comic books, and video games. And now let's check out this GI Joe Classified Series packaging for Outback. As you can see, this rugged Outback is displayed in all his GI Joe glory, with his accessories on eyesight right behind the clear window film. You have this excellent pastel or color pencil style illustration of Outback on the right hand side that was designed by Hartley Combs. You also get that excellent Tiger Force logo, which would honestly make a sweet patch on a jacket. Not much on the top, but you do see that this is the 39th figure released in the GI Joe Classified Series line. The highlight on the left side are the symbols. Not sure what the top globe symbol represents entirely, as it isn't listed on the Hasbro Pulse site, but I think he could be a level 4 in communications or global combat. The bullets show that Outback has level 2 training in light weapons. The last two bottom symbols show that he is a level 4 environmental specialist in both jungle and desert environments. The backside has an interesting jungle scene with enhanced images of a base and vehicle that has been reconned. Perhaps these are Cobra targets that Outback plans to take out. The right side shows a different illustration of Outback that wraps around back to the front of the packaging. So here are my pros and cons of this GI Joe Classified Series action figure of the Tiger Force Target exclusive of Stuart Outback Selkirk. So here are the pros of this figure. I have to say, this is an expertly sculpted figure, from the amazing face sculpt to the extremely detailed and texturized clothing and accessories. I also had a blast posing Outback in so many action poses. Utilizing all his accessories really gave a lot of options on displaying him, which leads right into all the accessories he has, from his weapons, utility items, and his signature backpack. Outback here has a ton of gear to survive and take the fight to Cobra out in the wilds. Now here are the cons of this figure. Now, as you saw earlier in this episode, the backpack can be a bit tricky to attach to the figure. If you aren't patient and careful, you can easily stress out and potentially break the attachment peg. I also noticed that it can be very easy for the backpack to come loose or pop out of the slot when adjusting the figure for different poses. I found it a bit odd that Outback only has one wrist that can articulate inwards and outwards. Why not allow both wrists to have the same articulation? Now, this isn't too much of a con, but since this is exclusive to Target, if you don't have access to this store in your region, you may not be able to get this figure or have to pay more from a third-party seller. The last issue for me is this figure's stability. This is mainly an issue when you load the backpack on this figure and try to have him simply in a standing straight up pose. Unfortunately, all that weight doesn't get distributed properly, and he falls backwards without the help of a display stand or other securing method. This was a blast to showcase my very first GI Joe Classified action figure. I had so much fun showcasing it to you guys. I'm going to leave a link to the official site on Target on this action figure of Stuart Outback Selkirk so you can get more details on this action figure. It's the moment you've been waiting for and I've been waiting for. It's a sneak peek of the next Nerdmazing collectible I'm going to showcase. Are you ready for it? It's gonna be... It's the Deathstroke Defiance gold labeled DC Multiverse action figure from McFarlane Toys. Well, are you ready to check out more action figures like these? Or maybe this is more your style? Well, thanks for joining me here at Nerdmazing. And as always, be passionate in what you do, share your passion with others, and be kind to one another, as this world can always use more goodness in it. This is Adam with Nerdmazing, and I'll see you next time.